Good evening, viewers. My name is Pretzle, and today we're playing Sid Meier's Civilization 4 Beyond the Sword. Continuing from where we last left off with our Sneaky Constance Roosevelt game, I forgot to go through the National Wonders last episode, so let's go through those now. Forbidden Palace acts as another palace, i.e. another capital, with regard to calculation for distance from palace maintenance, which is in a lot of instances where the bulk of maintenance comes from. I've already built it. That, I believe, is in Portland, as indicated by that silver star there. Should be showing up around about the top. Yep, Forbidden Palace, right there. So, back to the Civilopedia. The Globe Theatre. No unhappiness in this city can turn 3 citizens into artist, and city more likely to generate great artist. This would be very useful in a city that has a lot of food, and therefore is able to grow a lot beyond its happy cap. So what I'm seeing is Chicago there, the city with the most unhappiness. City with the most population is Houston. But, yeah, Chicago is able to grow a lot more. Naturally, all of my cities have a lot of food with the presence of Sid Sushi. Now, the reason Chicago's so unhappy is because it still doesn't have a mall. Well, I say a mall. Mall won't really add happiness, but it doesn't have a temple. Yeah, and that's it. Doesn't have a temple, doesn't have a Colosseum either, which I think the other one I was looking at does. So there's that. Similar is the National Park, which doesn't give any unhealth from population. And later on there's the recycling centre, which removes all unhealth from buildings. Problem with the National Park, though, is that it removes access to coal from the city. So it needs to be built somewhere on a river so that a hydro plant can be built there. Or I just go without power in the city. So San Francisco, being built on a river, would be able to build a hydro plant, and thus could get away with the national park. +1 specialist, free specialist per forest preserve. Now, forest preserve is a tile improvement I haven't bothered with. I could, in theory, build them up here, but to no avail. From my understanding, they do need to be in the city's borders, and they do need to be worked in order to have an impact. I might be mistaken, but that's my understanding. So, I'm not going to bother with the national park. Next one is the Hermitage, sorry. It is, doubles the culture output of a city, or plus 100% culture modifier, which, would probably have been useful in one of these northern cities earlier on, to get this happening faster, but ultimately is not something I'll be making use of, because I'm not going for a culture victory. So on that note, let's have a look at Pakal. Okay, so he has one city that's not far away from being legendary culture, which is the criteria for winning a cultural victory. 3 cities have legendary culture. He is less than 100 turns away from Mutal being legendary, but Chichen Itza, his third one, is forever away, and thus is not a concern. Is that red because he's building one? Am I able to tell that? Or is it red because he can build one? What's the criteria for SS thrusters? So I'll go back to the National Wonders in a moment. Criteria for thrusters? I don't actually know. Oh, superconductors. Does he have superconductors? Yes, he does. I guess he doesn't have anything else that's required for the space victory, though. For spaceship parts. So it's red because he can build them, and I know he has the tech that allows him to build the thrusters, but he doesn't have any other techs. Anyways, Hermitage. Heroic Epic. Did I already build the Heroic Epic? I should have built that in Boston. Yep, Heroic Epic, right, that's plus 100% military unit production. So, plus 100% hammers when building military units, which we will see here. plus 100% hammers for military units. Thank you kindly. That's from the Heroic Epic. Ironworks, similarly, I built in Boston. With plus 50% production from coal and plus 50% production with iron. And since I have access to both, Boston gets plus 100% from resources as its modifier. So that's why I built those two there. They work great in synergy with one another because they're, or whatever that sentence works, because they both affect the production of units, and that's what you want to do. You want to have a city that pumps out units like no tomorrow, and then other cities supplementing that. Now I could have West Point, although I don't have a unit with a high enough with enough experience to do that, and Red Cross in the same city to pump out high quality units. So they start with a lot of experience points and Medic 1 promotion. But Red Cross I can build, West Point I can't because I don't have a unit of the required experience, and since I'm not engaging in conventional warfare, at least not much, that's not that worthwhile. Ironworks, Moai statues we built in Seattle because it has a lot of coastal tiles it can work, or water tiles it can work, that's the whole point. Mount Rushmore is one I will be looking to build quite actively, and that's what spurned this conversation. 25% less war wariness in all cities. That is a very useful thing to do, to have access to. Double production speed with stone. We don't have stone, unfortunately. However, obviously we're industrious, so we have that advantage in reducing the cost of it. But I will be building Mount Rushmore in a city somewhere. National Epic, plus 100% great person, 100% modified to great person points in any given city. Again, primarily useful for cultural victory run attempts. And that's all I have to say on that note. Oxford University and Wall Street are plus 100% modifiers to Beakers and Wealth, respectively. And I've already built both of those, I'm building the second of those in Philadelphia right now. Oxford University has already been built. Palace marks your capital. Currently that is in Washington. You get it automatically at the start of the game by settling your first city. And you can build that somewhere else to be your capital if that's something you're into. It's not normally that useful, but there are situations. Maybe we'll see one of these days. Principally reducing maintenance in a given place. But there's that. So you can only build 2 national wonders per city, so you have to choose wisely. That's why Wall Street and Oxford University go well together. The Heroic Epic and Ironworks go well together. And Red Cross and West Point go well together, although it's a much less seen combination. I would be inclined to build that in my next highest production city, which is essentially Portland or New York, depending. Wouldn't be New York. Los Angeles is up there, actually. I wasn't expecting Los Angeles to have that high production, but I suppose it does. And Houston. Houston is actually even higher, so that's a thing. Yeah, there's that. So we're unhappy because we've obsoleted resources and we don't have resources to replace them. Getting access to gold would be nice. Honestly, at this point it might be worth trading away rice for that. Can't believe I'm saying that. But we do have really powerful Sid Sushi by virtue of being an archipelago map and being on a continent with rice in it. +8 food is massive, basically. And, yeah, there's that. Okay, so moving on. I believe this turn was done at the end of last episode. There's nothing else to do. Certainly not seeing Cincinnati's running a spy because it should be. And is basically the only instance of a city that should be building a spy. Or running a spy. We are getting very close to culture flipping these, so let's end the turn here. Single currency, +1 trade route in all cities. That benefits me the most. Nope, benefits Pakal the most, but regardless, I'm still going to vote in favour of it, because it really does benefit me an incredible amount. And it will benefit me the most, because I'm about to take 3 cities away from Pakal. So there's that. Right, so I really should actually have been setting up rally points for everything. Are there any other units I want to be building other than military things? I don't think there are. So I am actually just going to select everything to go to New York. Pakal's completed SS thrusters. Good for Pakal. He can go fuck himself. Right, so all units now go to New York once they are built. Hopefully there isn't anything else wrong with that. I am still missing mining ink somewhere. There is an executive on the move, and he is headed towards the right city. Cincinnati, no. Sarmation, please. So I'm just going to keep building railroads. Should probably automate that, but I never trust the AI to do it correctly. Gonna skip a turn there in Sarmation for that spy. Should be okay doing that. Get more railroads built. And then yeah, I guess build the rails along here or something. That's fine. Lots of submarines. And that's the other thing I wanted to show off this episode that I kept putting off, was the automatic naming of units. This is a bug feature, so that little icon there I think is meant to be a bug, funnily enough. We go to unit naming, and we follow a certain naming convention. You can look up these codes, I forget exactly what they are, but Saltian Naval Vessel is something I came up with in a multiplayer game where all my friends always used to rename their ships manually. And then some of us noticed this when we implemented bug. So what I have, I believe, is a name of following the NATO phonetic alphabet, just a list built into bug, based on the order that the thing goes. So count, the D means something, I forget what, and then P indicating phonetic alphabet. The upward arrows, I forget what those are called. They are just tags. They indicate that that isn't a name. If I took those away, then I would just get loads of ships called SNV, CNTD, square brackets, P, square brackets, which I don't want. So that's how that's done. I'm going to turn my research back up, get artillery in 2 turns. I'm getting nearly 2,000 beakers per turn. That is very impressive. And I am going to end turn here. Which I skipped a few things, didn't I? Alright, yeah, Augustus Caesar can be the bloody thing, that's fine. No one has anything to sell. Not working spies anywhere that I shouldn't be working spies. So that is enough for me. Spread culture, 80% chance of success. Woo! And how are we doing there? Nearly 60% American there. They should be revolting like no one's business. Spread mining ink. And if that succeeded, which it did, then that means I have both corporations in all my cities. And I won't need to be building any more until I flip one of these. So really I should build 6 more, but that's not a massive problem. I am content that everything has the correct queue. I am slightly annoyed that I am so far over the happy cap on some of my cities. Nearly all my cities, the only ones that aren't are Denver and Cincinnati, which are both shitholes at the moment. Well, saying that, no, they're not that bad. They could afford to expand a little bit, both of them, but otherwise, Cincinnati's a shithole inherently. Sorry to anyone who lives in Cincinnati. Not sorry for anyone who lives in Detroit, which I was insulting throughout the entirety of this run. No, just not sorry. Not sorry at all. I'm sorry, I know a couple of people who live in Detroit. It's just... Anyway, end turn. Artillery get. I said artillery get. Go away, Pikal.
Artillery adds dignity to what would otherwise be a vulgar brawl.
So that's artillery. Artillery unlocks a few units and not much else. It leads the way to rocketry, which is what I'm after. With artillery we get anti-tanks, artillery, appropriately enough, and mobile artillery once we have access to, or once we have laser, which we don't have yet. What a shock, Augustus Caesar wins the Apostolic Palace election. I don't care. He can't do a damn thing. So let's go there. Vast quantities of railroads everywhere. See, I could just select automate or build trade network on all of these workers. I just noticed this is worker 1 from Washington. Good for him. You go, worker 1. So many submarines. SNV Golf, SNV Hotel. And Pikal completes more SS thrusters. Whatever. I am catching up to Pikal in tech very quickly now. And funnily enough, he still fears I'm becoming too advanced, which is his reluctance to trade with me. So, once again, is there anything to do this turn? Nope. No specialists to reassign, no nothing. So, right, I think we've reached the point in the game where we don't need to care much. We can quite comfortably get away with just rolling through the turns. Let's get some things up here. Barracks, and then... Actually, no, don't bother with the barracks. You just do wealth, Detroit. You're fine doing wealth. Don't worry about that. Think I have enough places building units so that I don't need to be concerned with everything else. I need to turn my research slider down this turn. Still need roads on this rice. And there's the mistake I made. I knew there had to be one of these. That workboat needs to go all the way up there. Whatever. Okay, well, there's not much point in building improvements anywhere that's outside a city radius, except on roads and mines. which I think... Oh no, there's some stuff up here I haven't gotten yet. So I will be I'll be mining these two hills. And I guess I guess clearing this space for Zankanak to not be shit when I take it over, which will happen sooner or later. Ugh. Can't believe his Zarmal was... Oh no, his Zarmal's revolting. Awesome. That's good. Good for you. Go with Zarmal. So as established, nothing changing this turn. There's no resource trades I can make by the looks of things. Did Cecil lose his source of gold or something? That's possible. Whatever. So, end turn. Just roll through these quickly as I can to get to a point where I can actually end the game. That's ideal. Ending the game. This has gone on long enough. We're at nearly 40 episodes, I think. If not, we will be by the time we end this. I was hoping to end it at 30 or before then. I've seen playthroughs of this go by much more quickly than how quickly I've done it. Then again, I did take a while building loads of nonsense, checking loads of nonsense that I didn't need to check. Alright, rocketry next turn. Okay, right. Bakal is getting uncomfortably close to getting to space by virtue of his 4 thrusters. From memory, the ideal route to take is rocketry, superconductors, genetics, then fusion as quickly as possible, and then fill in the gaps. I haven't actually done Space Race in, well, in a very long time. So you will have to excuse me if that is not correct. Mao made peace with Ragnar at last. Did any cities change hands? I don't think they did. Did Mao or Ragnar get any tech out of that? Not that I can tell, but they're both arse backwards at this point anyway, compared to me. So there's that. That's fun. That's really, really fun. End turn. End turn? Yes, end turn. Karl, Stalin, and Augustus.
The earth is the cradle of the mind, but one cannot eternally live in a cradle.
Rocketry gets. Right, rocketry allows you to found the corporation Aluminium Co. And I will pronounce it like that even without the I in there. So by founding Aluminium Co., you can get aluminium in your cities at the cost of coal. It's like a national park, but instead of providing you with no unhealth from population, it provides you with aluminium. There's that. It allows you to start to construct the Apollo program. You build these 1 per team, which in most instances translates to 1 per player. And that's the same with all things that it lists as team projects. Unit-wise, it allows you to build the missiles, so guided missiles, which are in most instances not very useful. ICBMs and tactical nukes. At least, I don't think I've ever seen guided missiles be useful. I suppose if you're playing a game where nuclear weapons are banned, either by player consensus or by UN directive, then guided missiles might be useful for siege, but I don't think I've ever seen them be useful. ICBMs are outclassed by tactical nukes, as I've already explained, seeing as they're half the price, and all you need to do is locate, just position the tactical nukes on the borders of the person you're planning on nuking. Yeah, that's fun. Before you declare war. Attack submarines. They are submarines that allow you to carry units, carry scouts, explorers, missionaries, spies, great people. So, primary function of those is to funnel spies into enemy territory. Yeah. Although they get plus 50% versus submarines, so I suppose that's the primary use, really. And SAM infantry can intercept aircraft, 40% chance, plus 75% versus helicopter units. Those are the defensive units for this era with regards to siege, because air units are the modern era's siege units. It's just the way the game rolls out. I'll be using mobile artillery to take out these guys purely because I can't be bothered to build planes for that, and I like mobile artillery more. But that's... it's neither here nor there. Okay, what do I want to do with these workers now? Because I don't think any of them have anything to do. I guess I'll go up here and improve his anchor neck before I actually have it. I have not been sitting here for any turns at all. So go up here, build the rail between New Orleans and Denver in the desert. Isn't that fun? And just go up here, build rails. The North is always neglected. This is the case in every country. Political statements abound from Pretzle. Onwards. End turn. No longer work, okay. What would make the steel work? You want oil. Fuck you, Stalin. I'm not taking oil. Or not giving you oil. Alright, you'll give me fish and 9 gold per turn, so Sitsushi is still being more effective. There's Pakal trying to put through a resolution that's already been put through. Go Pakal. Build a watermill there. A lot of good that'll do. Suppose I should explain that somewhat. Cincinnati will be able to grow. Ever so slightly. And I do mean ever so slightly. It's already shrinking, and it's only size 9. It was sustained at size 9 by the fact that I had a 8 food Sitsushi. Now I'm down to 7 food because of that trade that Stalin cancelled. These tiles do not give me any food. I am improving them, principally because I don't have anything else to do with my workers, but also because it's... on the off chance that Sitsushi does expand to have more food, then these are the tiles I will be working over running a spy or something like that. And that is the only thing. I don't want to be running spies. Stalin signs a defensive pact with Suryavarman. Hooray. That's delightful. Okay, well that's roughly what I was expecting anyway. I'd expect the Hindus to get in bed with one another. I think I'll get satellites then end the video, unless anything else happens. So, end turn. What a shock, the single currency thing was a success. It's not like everyone had already voted for it and we were voting for the status quo. That's, no, not at all, nothing like that. Is there a road on there? Yeah, there is. Alright, well, go up here. Go there, railroad. Go there, railroad. Sleep. And that's everything over here. All of these things are railroaded, right? They look like they are. It's not really easy to tell. There's everything's grey on greyish tiles, but that's fine. So spread culture. 62% American now in Nizankanek. That city really should be flipping towards me now. think I might be missing something on the front of culture flipping a city. Maybe. We'll see. Alright, so my expenses will be increasing here. I am now having to pay a lot of unit maintenance because of the army I'm building. But you will also notice my power shooting up as of late. That will increase to be number 1, and will increase further to be number 1 of all time. Where actually am I on the demographic screen? Soldiers, I'm number 4. That will change. So, a couple more turns till satellites. Build a mine there. Railroad that. Go up. Railroad that. I have a great engineer, hooray. There's nothing I can use it on. Like, there really just aren't any wonders left to build. Internet counts as a project. Space elevator's useless. Are there any other wonders to build? Hermitage, Mount Rushmore, Red Cross. I guess. In fact, Washington, you don't have any national wonders, do you? You can have Mount Rushmore. And I'll rush construction of that. Actually, how expensive is Mount Rushmore? Only 500 hammers. I'd be better off putting up the bloody paratroopers. That's fine, yeah. Finish your current paratrooper, then build the Mount Rushmore. May as well. This guy can therefore... Once again, I'm thinking settling it is best. So I may as well settle you in my highest production city of Boston. And benefit from that. Caesar adopts environmentalism. Right, so one thing that could go through, that could threaten me, is the mandate for environmentalism from the UN. That would suck slightly. Wouldn't be the end of the world, but it would suck slightly. Because it means I would have to pay much more maintenance for corporations. I get a lot more health in my cities, that's true. From +6 inherently and +2 from public transportation. Windmills I don't have any of. That's not true, I have this one up here. I have this one windmill in Cincinnati, so I'd get +2 commerce from that. But, yeah. This city's 80% American now, why hasn't it flipped? That's the same reason the Crimean Peninsula didn't flip to Russia in real life. Without provocation. I'm going to shut up about that now. Hello! Shit! That's interesting. Okay. Alright, this game's gonna pick up next episode. Hello. Stalin has declared war on me. Wasn't expecting that, although I suppose I should have thought about him plotting war. And this is the best quote in the game. Hearing Leonard Nimoy say beep. Okay, so I need to readjust my priorities. So let's build a mall in a jail. Mall in Baltimore. Barracks and tanks. How big of an army did he land? He took Philadelphia, that's not a shock. He has 1 Marine, 4 airships. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Cossacks. So, and 2 cannon. So, having just lost Philadelphia, it's the worst city to have lost, I would say. Good thing I have so many paratroopers here. There's 16 paratroopers right there. What combat odds do I get on that? Not massive. In fact, not ideal in the slightest. What about Navy SEALs? Well, I definitely don't want to nuke my own city, but I don't have nuclear weapons yet anyway. I'm going to have to cancel these submarine production things. And I don't have mobile artillery yet, do I? I'm just going to build tanks. Just tanks everywhere. Seattle, stop the transport. You've finished that off this turn. And queue up tanks. Atlanta. Same story. And there was another naval unit building city over here, and that's already doing it. So get tanks up. And San Francisco. Tanks are a higher priority than paratroopers. And the game's crashed. Alright, so we get to replay that turn next episode. At least I'm assuming it's crashed, it's saying not responding. It's grayed out though. Well, whatever, we'll see. Thank you for watching. I have been and shall continue to be Pretzle. If you liked the video, please like the video and feel free to stick around for more. In the meantime, enjoy the music and don't forget to be awesome. Next episode will be fun.